A look at beautiful downtown Dallas, Texas as we get you ready for Game 2 of today's doubleheader from the Kubota College Baseball Series from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Tonight, it's a matchup between a pair of programs with national championship aspirations as the 7th-ranked Oregon State Beavers take on the 2nd-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks in a matchup between the Pac-12 and the SEC here in North Texas. On Flow Sports, Brent Freeman coming to you from Globe Life Field along with Pat Combs. And Pat, you got two teams ranked in the top 10 early on in the season. Two teams we could easily see in Omaha come this summer.
Yeah, Brent, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, the talent on paper is incredible. I think both of these head coaches would tell you they'd be very disappointed if these teams didn't make a long, deep run into the postseason. But College World Series, I mean, you look at second weekend of the year and you're going, really? I mean, can we project that far out? With these two teams, absolutely.
Let's talk more about the Oregon State Beavers. So far unbeaten on the year for head coach Mitch Canham. A 5-0 start so far for Oregon State.
Yeah, off to a great start, and as expected, Mitch Canham filled some holes with some veteran players. And this team is powerful. This lineup may be some of the best in the country. We'll see. It'll be fun to watch against this Arkansas pitching. So
again, Mitch Canham at the helm here at Oregon State, but his 5th year coaching at his alma mater. And his team get out to a 5-0 start. Impressive start this season for the Beavers as we take a look at the batting order tonight for Oregon State. Going to lead off with one of the top players in the country, Travis Bazzana, followed by Micah McDowell and Mason Guerra, the top third of the order for Oregon State. The middle third is Gavin Turley, Brady Casper, and Trent Carraway, and the lineup rounds out with Tice Peterson, Tanner Smith, and Elijah Hainline. Now, this Oregon State lineup is facing off against one of the premier pitchers in the country, Hagen Smith, for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Brent, he is everything as advertised. The left-hander, 6'3", 225-pounder from Bullard, Texas, is an All-American and projected to be a first-round pick in this year's Major League Draft. But he leads a very deep and talented staff of the Razorbacks. He went 8-2 last year with a 3.64 ERA. Now, had a rough start last weekend. It was a really tough day to pitch. Wind was blowing, wind chills in the teens. He didn't last long versus Jay Madison. Only an inning. Gave up 3 earned runs in that inning of work.
So again, Dave Van Horn expecting bigger things from Hagen Smith here today. And all season long for the preseason first-team All-American. And from 3 different publications, they have named Hagen Smith as the preseason SEC Pitcher of the Year. Second among active SEC pitchers in strikeouts behind only Ty Good of South Carolina. A look at the defense behind him here tonight. And so far, clean defense for the Razorbacks. 4 games into the season, just 3 errors committed. A year ago, this was the 2nd-best fielding team of the SEC. That's the defense here tonight, playing behind Hagen Smith. Into the box, Travis Bazzana. Number 2 Razorbacks, number 7 Beavers. First time these two are meeting since their memorable College World Series championship matchup in 2018. This game is underway.
And no doubt Hagen Smith is going to pitch with that chip on his shoulder tonight after last Friday's performance. No doubt he'll come back and have a strong start. But he'll feature a fastball mid-90s, and he's touched 100. The pitching coach Matt Hobbs went to work with him also in the fall to improve his secondary pitches. He's added a new split finger, and his fastball command is outstanding, as he's showing you right there, striking out Bazzana in 3 pitches.
With that slider filthy from Hagen Smith, and Bazzana down on 3 strikes. And that starts tonight for Hagen Smith.
Nasty slider. You saw Hudson White, Razorback catcher, sit up outside. That ball starts middle away, ends up on the corner. Chris Koski rings up Bazzana for out number 1.
Now Micah McDowell for Oregon State, but nobody on and 1 away. And bunts out 1, it stays fair. Smith, the flip, but it's too high. Over the head of Ben McLaughlin. And the Beavers have a base runner, 2 batters in.
Yeah, should go down as a base hit. That was a tough play for Hagen Smith. Got off the mound quickly, got to the ball, but you saw the communication between he and his first baseman, Ben McLaughlin. McLaughlin late getting back to the bag and would have made the play had the throw been there. Just a tough backhanded play, though. Good backup by Peyton Holt, the second baseman.
Michael McDowell, the base senior out of Nova Scotia, coming off the best year of his career. And now the three-hole hitter, Mason Guerra, preseason All Pac-12. And takes ball one. You look at this Oregon State team. 5-0 start to the year, won all 4 games opening weekend in Surprise, Arizona, the spring training home of the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. As the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Mitch Canham, the head coach for Oregon State, said that was a lot of fun heading down to the spring training complex. Of course, great weather, great competition, great start to the season for the Beavs.
In those 4 games in Arizona, the Beavers hammered the opposition, outscoring them 42-13, and then followed that up with a win here Wednesday over 19th-ranked Texas Tech.
Yeah, that was an impressive one as well. Double digits and runs scored. And this Beaver offense, they just started the season with a bang, and they're not slowing down.
Fastball at 98 from Hagen Smith.
Yeah, obviously, the question for Mitch Canham's club is, can they catch up to the stuff of Hagen Smith? At mid-90s fastball, he'll touch again 98 to 100. That's a fastball that college hitters don't often see.
And Smith facing an offense that Pat described, hitting .331 so far, 5 games in. They combined team OPS over 1,100 and already 14 home runs. Struck him out, strikeout number 2.
A little extra on that heater. You might think, did last Friday sit well with Hagen Smith? And I promise you, he came back out this Friday looking to fire up against this Oregon State Beaver offense. That fastball is electric.
Struck out 2 excellent hitters so far in Bazana and Guerra. Now it's Gavin Turley with 2 outs. Smith, a projected first-round pick. Last year named first team All-SEC. The first Razorback pitcher to earn those honors since 2013. That fastball is lively right now.
Yeah, he's just overpowering these hitters, and as good as this offense is, again, trying to catch up to that 98-mile-an-hour heat. Got to start that swing early.
Hagen Smith with the roar of the crowd behind him strikes out 3 Beavers in the top of the first. His Razorbacks coming to bat when we return. A 3-strikeout opening inning for Hagen Smith. No score in Arlington.
Watch me. Watch me grapple, move, and pin. When I hit the mat, don't underestimate the grin. I've got state championships and medals to show. But it's about more than just winning. This you should know. Overcoming odds through therapy and care. The road was long. Now opponents beware. Watch me. Game-changing sports medicine at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Protecting what matters most is the mission that matters most. At Lockheed Martin, we know today's threats come from behind, above, and below, and we make sure those who serve stay ahead of them by connecting platforms necessary to dominate every domain across air, land, sea, space, and cyber, using technologies that protect in the same moment they detect. The mission is a safer, more secure world. Our promise is to help make it happen.
Globe Life Field is your home for college baseball with 3 full weekends of action starting February 16th at the home of the Texas Rangers. It all starts with the Shriners Children's College Showdown presented by Kubota featuring Baylor, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee, and Nebraska. Next is the Kubota College Baseball Series with Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Michigan, and Oregon State in Weekend 2, and TCU, Texas A&M, Arizona State, and USC for Weekend 3. To get tickets and learn more, visit globelifefield.com/collegebaseball.
A look into the Arkansas dugout where you'll see the reigning SEC Coach of the Year, the legend Dave Van Horn, goes by DVH. in his 22nd season now at Arkansas and more than 830 wins.
Yeah, so impressive. It's hard to find any more consistent college baseball team since 2017. It's just been an incredible run for the Hogs.
And what a lineup that Dave Van Horn will put out there against Oregon State. Diggs, White, McLaughlin lead things off for the Razorbacks in the first, followed by Alloy, Helfrich, Jones, and rounded out by Holt, Sprague, Lott, and Wilmsmeyer for Arkansas. And they're facing Aiden May, the Oregon State starter, on the mound for his second straight Friday. A look at his numbers from last week at opening day against New Mexico.
Yeah, pretty solid numbers by Aiden May, the 6'2", 196-pound junior right-hander from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He transferred from Arizona. He jumped into the Friday starter role ahead of his best friend and roommate, Jacob Kamatz. We'll see Kamatz tomorrow night. But according to head coach Mitch Canham, that's okay. They both really like each other and they're roommates, but they compete hard, they push each other. But May has been a huge addition for this Beaver weekend rotation.
And Mitch Canham got an up-close look at May a year ago when he pitched for Arizona. The season high of strikeouts was 9 when facing the Beavers. Here starts off the game with the strikeout of Kendall Diggs. 1 up and 1 down for the Beavers here at the bottom of the first.
Yeah, nice job by the Beavs catcher Tanner Smith. Buries that breaking ball in the dirt. Quickly picks it up and tags Diggs for the out. On the appeal, he did swing. The third base umpire Andrew Fulton, so May rings up Diggs on a swinging K.
So one of the Razorback captains, Diggs, retired, brings up Hudson White, newcomer to this team, transferring in from Texas Tech.
Yeah, big pickup for Dave Van Horn. Not only a great defensive catcher, but has added some punch to the top of that lineup as well. But looking at Aiden May, fastball that sits in the mid-90s. Hard slider. You saw that slider chalk up Diggs on the strikeout. Just brings great arm talent. Really, much like his counterpart Hagen Smith tonight, just bows up and lets it go.
On the appeal, Michael Banks says White went around.
That was awfully close.
Yeah, to the chagrin of the nearly 20,000 Razorback fans in attendance. A called strike, 2-2.
Slider just catches the bottom of the zone. Big 12 umpiring crew tonight.
Led by Chris Koski calling balls and strikes. Two outs. And the play secured on the toss from Smith to Guerra. So how about the two starters in this game? They've combined for 5 strikeouts. As we look now, Pat, at the Oregon State defense.
Oh, it's amazing. Amazing how these two pitchers match up tonight. I was really looking forward to this all week, just watching these two guys go to work.
Out of the plate, Ben McLaughlin here for Arkansas. Started 21 games for the Razorbacks last year, one of the team's better hitters in SEC play. And takes ball 1.
Yeah, that plus slider that May has, it's so hard to pick up. It's got such tight spin. You can see the left-hander's pulling off that pitch, just not able to pick it up, and has great command of it as well.
Again, the Razorbacks took 3 of 4 from James Madison out of the Sun Belt, back home in Fayetteville to open the year. Into the series with a 4-0 win on Monday, and with that win, Arkansas has now won 28 straight non-conference series back home at Baum-Walker Stadium.
The ball caught him, yeah. Back leg. Every time the slider gets away from Aiden May and strikes McLaughlin.
So the Razorbacks have their first base runner. Comes with 2 outs here in the first inning. That'll bring up Yahibaba Alloy. Deva Alloy here for Arkansas. Newcomer from Sacramento State. He was a freshman All-American last year for the Hornets.
Yeah, not many names, Brent, we have to practice saying, but Vahiva Alloy, that was one of them.
Alloy named to the Golden Spikes preseason watch list along with the Razorback starter Hagen Smith. Burst onto the scene last year at Sac State, 14 homers, drove in 46. On the ground, good glove from Guerra, able to go to the bag himself to retire Alloy. Aiden May strikes out 2 in the inning and retires Alloy to end the first. We go to the second in this matchup between two teams in the top 10. No score in Arlington. The inning begins with an infield base hit from Brady Casper. No scores. We go to the top of the second inning. Ray Freeman, Pat Combs here with you. One pitch in, Brady Casper is on against Hagen Smith. Leadoff base hit. That's going to bring up Trent Caraway here for Oregon State.
Yeah, ball hit well through the middle of the infield. Peyton Hull did a good job getting to it. Slowed it down, knocked it down, but could not make a throw, so it'll go down as an infield hit for Casper.
Now the freshman Caraway had a big opening day against New Mexico last Friday, doubled and homered against the Lobos. Opening weekend, Caraway made an early impression with his new Beaver teammates. 8 hits, scored 8 times, homered twice.
Yeah, big time recruit from J. Sarah Catholic High School in SoCal, and one of those players that Mitch Canham said, I thought the draft would get him. We were really surprised. He lasted through the draft and ended up here as a Beaver.
Breaking ball from Smith. Going with strike. And it's funny you mentioned that, Pat, because when we talked to Dave Van Horn from Arkansas, he mentioned that 4 of the prize recruits they brought in were drafted and did forego playing for the Razorbacks. And those 4 players got a combined $10.9 million to go out and go ahead and play pro baseball.
Yeah, that's, obviously when you get that kind of money floating around, it's hard to turn down as a young player. And, that's the kind of player, though, that is being drawn now to Dave Van Horn's program. They're looking at top, 3-round guys that are getting drafted high. They get those big signing bonuses, and that's the chance you take when you go after talent like that. But DVH understands that game.
You look at the transfers that Arkansas brought in with the freshmen that did commit to play in Fayetteville. This is the top recruiting class in the country. That is a first in Arkansas program history. Swing and a miss. A lot of the breaking ball there from Smith against Caraway, and 1 out here in the second inning.
Yeah, that pitch just fell off the table. Caraway swinging over the top of it. Strikeout number 4 already here in the second inning for Hagen Smith. Going
to bring up Tice Peterson, the DH for Oregon State. one of the returners here for the Beavers. Although he's back in Corvallis, only 15 games as a freshman last year, only made 8 starts. It was a very deep Oregon State team. And like Caraway, had a big opening day against New Mexico, homered twice in that win for Oregon State. Well, the fastball here falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, Mitch Canham super enthused that he's got Tice Peterson back healthy. Of course, he battled that hamstring injury most of 23. Although even battling through that injury, hit .303 last season.
0-2. Fastball just misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, I don't know if you can hear the crowd noise in the background like we can, but it feels like a home game for Arkansas. These fans travel so well, but Dave Van Horn, he gave us the warning. He said, guys, listen, there's going to be 20,000 Hog fans there this weekend. It's going to be loud. He was right.
Now, we were talking about it in the earlier game, won by Oklahoma State over Michigan. There is a really huge, really big alumni base for Arkansas here in North Texas. Number 5 for Hagen Smith. 2 outs in the second.
Well, it just feels like Hagen Smith is pitching a little bit angry. You got a lot of pride, man. You have a start like you did last weekend, and yeah, given the weather conditions, we all understand that it's tough to pitch in those conditions, but he came out just looking like an angry guy. I'm going to give Oregon State all they can handle.
Now Tanner Smith, 2 outs. Another returner for Oregon State, 39 starts last year, and drove in 27 for the Beavers as they went on to win 41 games, finished second of the Pac-12. Swing and a miss. Here's a breaking ball again. It's 0-2. Beavers went on to play at the Baton Rouge Regional and ran into a buzzsaw on LSU, a team that went on to win the national championship. Struck him out. Number 6 for Hagen Smith. Beavers held scoreless in the second.
Anyone there?
Coach.
Hey, Mitch.
Yeah, there you are.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Back out in Arlington, Brent Freeman, Pat Combs are now joined by Mitch Canham, the head coach for the Oregon State Beavers, coaching for his alma mater. And coach, your team out to a really good start this year, 5-0. What do you like about the look for your team this season so far?
These guys really bonded together. As soon as they stepped on campus in the fall, the way they just pushed each other, and I mean, they get after it. There's not a time, day or night, that they're not getting together and putting in some work and hold each other accountable. So definitely very talented group, but what they do off the field is even more special.
Hey, Mitch, Pat Combs here. We asked you a couple of questions regarding realignment and get into the culture of your team, and everything you came back with was just with the sense of joy, and you talk about opportunity just to succeed. Whatever comes your way, just take the opportunity. Just talk about that attitude and how you get that in with your team.
I mean, just you live it every day. You know, it's a faith-driven thing. Opportunity for joy. Each and everything that comes your way, you have that choice that you get to take. And that's a big part of our culture is choosing our attitude. You know, if you're upset, that's because you decided to be upset. Yeah, big play, baby.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, boy.
Nice call at the last second.
Rallying to the ball. It's hard. You got to really call it loud here because it's like you can't hear a darn thing. But, you know, these guys they show up every day with that opportunity in mind. You know, if something bad happens, I'm very curious on how they're going to respond to it because there's always going to be some kind of perceived hardship. And I just think those are ways that give us opportunity to be stronger.
Well, Mitch, you got an opportunity here with one of the best arms in college baseball. What do you have to do to adjust to a Hagen Smith?
Well, we got to be on time for the heater, right? And right now we're expanding the zone down a bit. So I think, you know, getting a little bit of that jumpiness out of our system, get the hands going a little bit sooner, and go to one of our strengths, and that's pitch selection. So, you know, just getting on time. It's a great crowd right now, and the guy's a little worked up. And he came out throwing some good fuel. So just looking for these guys to settle in. But when they come back to the dugout, it's not like it's, you know, they're coming in with wide eyes or nothing like that. They look prepared. Just, you know, shorten up the zone a little bit and make sure we're short and quick to it, really. I mean, just pitch selection's huge, but I'm happy with how they're communicating, and I'm excited to watch Mr. May out here pummel the zone.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you. Go Beavs.
All right, then again, Mitch Canham joining us here with Oregon State and Arkansas scoreless in the second inning of work for Aiden May, facing Jason Jones. Got him to chase the fastball. It's 3-2.
Well, you get the sense, though, Brent, when you talk to Mitch Canham, it's just almost like you're talking to a therapist, right? He's just so calm and collected and doesn't get too excited about stuff. And, of course, one of the all-time greatest players in Oregon State history and led that club to a couple of World Series back in 07, 06, and man, captain the team, and you just thought at some point he was going to take over this program, but gosh, just love talking to that guy, that just the sense of peace that he gives and how much he loves and appreciates his players.
Playing for Beavers coaching legend Pat Casey as Jones draws a one-out walk, and the Razorbacks have their second base runner of the night. And in fact, they don't call the position at Oregon State the head coach. It is the Pat Casey head coach, and those honors now belong to Mitch Canham.
Yeah, one of the all-time greatest college baseball coaches, and Pat Casey, and certainly Mitch Canham had the luxury of working with him, under him, played for him, but has certainly adopted a lot of what he learned from Coach Casey, one of the all-time legend greats in this game.
Payton hold the ground ball to short. There's one, there's two. 6-4-3 double play for the Beavers infield defense. We played two, still no score. Back out at Arlington, scoreless game going into the third. We're now joined by Razorbacks head coach Dave Van Horn. And coach, last week kind of a tough start for Hagen Smith, but tonight a different story. What have you seen from Hagen so far tonight?
Just doing what he does, and that's pound the zone, fastball, slider, changeup. You know, last week it was was a bad day. You know, it was freezing cold. Probably shouldn't have played, to be honest with you, but seeing the real Hagen Smith tonight.
Dave, Pat Combs here. You know, I asked you over the week here, you know, you've built such a consistently great program, but the key question I think a lot of folks will know is how do you do that?
Well, I've got really good coaches, number one, do a great job out recruiting. I think that our older players that go through the program do a great job of kind of nurturing our young guys, so to speak, and making them feel comfortable quick. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but it's all about our culture, honestly.
Coach, you told us to expect 20,000 Razorback fans here, and they have certainly turned out. What is it about the atmosphere that your crowd provides, whether you're at home or on the road?
Well, it's first off, our fan base is unbelievable. I mean, this place is jumping, it's loud, and I mean, they do a lot for us. They bring a lot of energy to our players and our bench, and you know, just really proud of what they do for us, and that's helped us win.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck the rest of the night.
Okay, thank you.
Every out Hagen Smith has recorded has been a strikeout. That's now 7 in the game.
Yeah, just dominant. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. The dominance you're watching here on the screen, it's just electric stuff. The slider is a plus slider. It just disappears off the table. You've got to gear up, like Mitch Cannon said. You have to gear up for the fastball. I mean, it's a mid-90s fastball plus, and then he just drops that slider in there, and he's got a little bit of a cut fastball. We haven't really seen him use that splitter much, but he hasn't needed it. I mean, just the 2 pitches at the top of his repertoire have been dynamic.
It will be interesting to see how the Beavers adjust now the second time through the order here as Posada bats for the second time.
Yeah, I think what's really impressive too, Brent, you know, when you talk to pitching coaches around the league and you always ask them about young pitchers, they'll always say the same thing usually. You know, I get guys that just try too hard and then they lose command. They get out there, become throwers, and I think you saw a little bit of that with Hagen Smith when he first came into the Arkansas program. The arm talent was always there. It was him learning how to control it and command the strike zone. And you just got to give a tip of the hat to Matt Hobbs and the work that he's done to develop Hagen Smith's command.
That's number 8. Posada strikes out for a second time. Got him on the slider. As Pat said, a plus breaking ball from Hagen Smith. And you take him out of the frigid temperatures in Fayetteville last week, put him into the 74-degree atmosphere here in Arlington. It's a different ball game.
Oh my goodness, yeah. This is, you know, you have pitchers that dream about pitching in stadiums their whole life. Now he's got one, and then of course, you know, you talk to Dave Van Horn. He said, "Hey, look, I'm not going to make excuses for elements. You know, you get drafted by a team in the North, you've got to be able to handle those elements at the next level." So he wasn't making excuses for Hagen Smith. He just said it's going to be a much different environment for him here on this big league stage, on a big league mound, with this stadium covered in perfect weather.
McDowell, one of the 2 hits for the Beavers tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, McDowell coming off the best year of his career. Hit .342, drove in 47. As he falls behind 1-2. And an honorable mention, all Pac-12.
Well, so far, only a couple of players in this Beaver lineup that have made contact. McDowell is one of those 2.
The other, Brady Casper. Number 9. Hagen Smith is dealing. 3 innings in, he's got 9 strikeouts. Still no score in North Texas.
The 2024 Phillips 66 Big 12 Baseball Championship is returning to Globe Life Field May 21st through the 25th. Don't miss your chance to watch the best of Big 12 battle it out at the home of the Texas Rangers. Tickets are on sale now. Visit GlobeLifeField.com/Big 12 for more information. Or if you were the selected fan sitting in Section 1, you would have just one ticket to the Big 12 Baseball Championship. Congratulations. We'll see you back here in May.
Well, it is official. Hagen Smith is worth the price of admission. Through 3 innings, he's got 9 strikeouts. All 9 outs he has recorded via the punch out of the Beavers right now, searching for answers.
Yeah, Brad, he's not perfect, right? He's given up the bunt single, gave up the base hit to Casper, but can you say nearly perfect? 9 strikeouts in 3 innings. I mean, that's about as nearly perfect as you can get.
Hog fans loving it tonight. Now coming to bat against Aiden May, his 3rd inning of work. May himself a couple of strikeouts and is yet to give up a hit.
Well, I love what Mitch Cannon said about Aiden May. He says, look, he's not in love with the strikeout. He really, he'll take them, but he likes to pitch to contact, and he's certainly doing that tonight. A couple of Ks back in the 1st inning, but the fly out to start the 2nd. Going to walk to Jones and quickly erased the double play ball.
Got kind of a sarcastic cheer from the crowd after Michael Banks says Jared Sprague-Lott checked his swing. That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
How about Hagen Smith? 36 total pitches in 3 innings, 31 strikes.
Sprague-Lott right back up the middle. May with a good defensive play. And Sprague-Lott retired. First out of the 3rd here for Arkansas. That is not an easy play to make off the mound here for Aiden May. That ball was scorched.
Yeah, that ball gets over his head. It's more than likely a base hit to start the inning. And Bazana playing towards the middle. 2nd baseman for Oregon State, but May says, I'll take it myself.
Ty Wilmsmeyer takes a strike. An Oregon State team picked to win the Pac-12 this year, and what is the final year of the Pac-12 as we know it. Last time the Beavers won the conference title was 2017. That's a ground ball and a good backhand by Hainline. Throw across the diamond, not in time. Wilmsmeyer beats it out, and the Razorbacks have their first hit.
Well, that's just the elite speed from Ty Wilmsmeyer. He can fly and shows off his wheels there. Getting the infield base hit. Nice play by Hainline to get to it, make a strong across the body throw, but just not in time to get the speedy Wilmsmeyer.
Got to bring up Kendall Diggs. Struck out against Maina's first at-bat. Strong leadoff man here for Arkansas from Olathe, Kansas. Team captain for the Razorbacks, 2nd team all SEC honors a year ago. Led his lineup in runs batted in and walks drawn. An on-base machine for Arkansas.
No doubt, and you know, could be really a 3-hole hitter in most lineups. Guy hit 12 home runs last season and got a lot of punch out of that leadoff position for Dave Van Horn's Hogs.
The only other Razorback named preseason first team all SEC, Hagen Smith, along with Diggs. As you see May keeping close tabs on Wilmsmeyer at first base. Talked about how much this crowd supports its team. The Razorbacks, large crowds all 4 games despite the chilly weather back in Fayetteville. Average of over 9,300 to watch Arkansas play opening weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the weather conditions in Fayetteville. They're going to come out in Arkansas to support those Hogs. Baum Stadium, it's always rocking when the Hogs are home.
And worth noting that after this trip to North Texas, the Razorbacks play their next 12 at home. Runner goes up the middle. That's a base hit. Wilmsmeyer on his way to 3rd, and he's going to stop there. Diggs is on with a base hit, and here comes Arkansas.
Well, perfectly executed hit and run by Kendall Diggs. Wilmsmeyer got a great jump at first base. Might have been a run and hit. Just Kendall Diggs getting something out of the plate as Wilmsmeyer was trying to steal second. Instead, he'll end up at third base. And great job by the Hogs to put some pressure on this Beaver defense.
First time either team is really threatened. So Diggs at first base, Wilmsmeyer at third. That's going to bring up Hudson White here for Arkansas. Hit .296 last year as a Red Raider and drove in 49. Strike one.
I think if you're Dave Van Horn, you're going to let Hudson White have a chance to drive in. Wilmsmeyer from third base. Fly ball to the outfield will score him with that elite speed.
Check his swing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sinker from May at 94 miles an hour, just off the inside part of the plate. May's got to be thinking double play ball or try to jam Hudson White up.
Can't check it that time.
Slider catches the top of the zone.
Hudson White grew up not too far here from Arlington in Keller, Texas, in the greater DFW area.
Boy, has Keller put out some great catchers in recent years. Oh, we got our first clock violation. Home plate umpire Chris Koski calling third base umpire Andrew Fulton in to confirm was that a pitch clock violation by Aiden May.
And this Big 12 crew talking about it right now.
Well, no violation. So they wave it off. So count remains 1-2.
Swing and a miss. White's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. And now 2 outs here in the third.
Yeah, just a nasty slider. The signature pitch from Aiden May again catches White. Slider starts outside and ends up off the plate away. And it's White a wild swing. There were 2 strikes.
This staff from Mitch Canham has piled up the strikeouts 5 games in. 43 punch outs for the pitchers through 5 games. An ERA of just 2. And that's a strike to McLaughlin. A senior out of Golden, Colorado. That ball lined right to Guerra at first base. What a play from his knees, and the Razorbacks strand 2. Some good defense in the inning from Oregon State has kept this game scoreless. We go to the 4th inning. Razorbacks, Beavers still tied 0-0 at Globe Life Field.
Watch me roll, grind, and spin. Playgrounds for wheels, that's always a win. One with my chair, but never held back. I do things sitting down, most people standing can't hack. Some might say my condition was fate. My doctors would tell you I'm just redefining great. Watch me. Life-changing orthopedic excellence at Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
The American Western Weekend. 2 nights of Western sports and live entertainment. Deep in the heart of Texas. March 8th and 9th, Globe Life Field. Friday night, the American Performance Horsemen with a concert by Luke Bryan. Saturday night, the American Rodeo with a concert by Post Malone. The American Western Weekend, March 8th and 9th. Tickets on sale at AmericanRodeo.com.
Back in Arlington, Texas for another great weekend of college baseball. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Kubota. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in. Like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Well, Pat was just talking about great catchers. Here's one of the greats in big league history, Ivan Punch Rodriguez, whose #7 is retired here at Globe Life Field. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, no score. Arkansas and Oregon State, 2 teams in the top 10 entering the 2nd weekend of the college baseball season. And coming up for the Beavers in the inning, Guerra, Turley, and Casper, hitters 3 through 5.
Yeah, now if you're Mitch Canham in that dugout, I'm sure he's having those discussions with his hitters. I think it has to go something like this, guys. We can't cover the entire plate with Hagen Smith. I mean, he's just been dominant. So we've got to cut the plate in half. We have to start looking for particular pitches in certain locations. And you just tip your hat. If he makes his pitch, he makes his pitch. But we've got to cut the plate in half and start to put the barrel on something.
So far, if you're Jason Jones, Ty Wilmsmeyer, or Kendall Diggs in the outfield, could have left your glove back at the hotel.
I mean, this is historical stuff. I mean, you see, 9 strikeouts in 3 innings, and you start to get the impression that, unless Hagen Smith tires out at some point, how is Oregon State going to get something going offensively? But there's a good start. Walk to lead off the inning.
Second time the leadoff man has reached for Oregon State. So Guerra's on, going to bring up Gavin Turley for the Beavers. A lot of Pac-12 representation in Arlington these first 3 weeks of the year. Saw the Beavers rival Oregon here last week. Next week, Arizona State, USC will be in town. Turley unable to check his swing. It's 0-1.
If there's been one chink in the armor for Smith, I mean, historically looking backwards, it has been fastball command at times. But Matt Hobbs says, hey, man, we've corrected a lot of those mistakes, and mechanically he's made some adjustments to just be able to duplicate those mechanics and make it simple. He just really simplified. Going to that set position has really helped just keep things tight and consistent with those mechanics.
Brought on those Pac-12 teams, but this time next year, Oregon will be in the Big Ten. USC, UCLA as well. Arizona State to the Big 12. We talked with Mitch Canham about the realignment and says, look, yes, he's disappointed the Pac-12 is breaking up, but he sees this as an opportunity for his program. It's not going to change the way they do things in Corvallis. This is going to be an independent schedule next year for Oregon State without a conference home.
Yeah, I mean, you have those conversations, and you're exactly right, Brant. Everything you're talking about as we see the strikeout of Turley, another backwards K from Smith. But you look at how this program was built. Pat Casey, thinking back to when he came into Oregon State, took over a program that had below average facilities. It was a cold weather part of the country. And what they did at Oregon State under Pat Casey was just absolutely remarkable. Winning 3 College World Series. Then, of course, Mitch Canham picking up right where Casey left off and continuing, to build onto that program and again, produce great teams. It's been remarkable. So, yeah, when he says, hey, it's just another opportunity for us, that's exactly how they look at it.
And the boosters have been really supportive. They've told Mitch Canham, whatever you need, we've got you. And we talked about the turnout here for Razorback fans. Well, in Arizona this past week, Oregon State had over 4,000 in attendance for all 4 games.
Yeah, it's just incredible. They built a great community there and a lot of support. And you hear coaches say this all the time, control what you can control. And that's exactly the message Mitch Canham has for his guys. Hey, they control what's right in front of them. And this team has a legitimate shot to get to the College World Series this year. And despite what some of the recruiting efforts against them, when you have coaches say, well, why would you go play at Oregon State? They don't even have a conference next year. Mitch says, hey, man, we'll take that too. We'll take the players who want to be here, who want to be a part of this, because it's going to be something special as we go forward.
Meanwhile, Hagen Smith just filthy tonight. He is up to 11 strikeouts. Every out again of the game so far for Hagen Smith has been a K.
Yeah, you're starting to get into some historical stuff here when we're going to have to look backwards and say, which is the last college pitcher to start a game striking out. And every out he's recorded has been a strikeout. I mean, this is stuff you don't see.
Special arm talent, Hagen Smith. But to say that he's looked better than he did last week is a severe understatement. But again, really frigid temperatures in Fayetteville last week, to the point that Dave Van Horn thought that Arkansas shouldn't play. Late timeout call from Trent Caraway, and Razorback fans didn't like that.
Yeah, I thought he got it before Hagen Smith started to commit home. He was just in the process of calling it, but Caraway definitely got the time before he started his motion. So offensively, obviously the rule change is that the offensive hitter gets one timeout per at bat. So he has used his timeout.
.95 with a fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is on the black outside corner at 95. Caraway didn't agree.
Up the middle, that is a base hit. 2 on, 2 out for the Beavers here in the 4th inning. Caraway with a nice 2-out single.
Well, 3rd hit of the game for the Beavers. Of course, the bunt base hit back in the 1st by McDowell, and now Caraway and Casper both account for the 2 base hits. This one shooting through the infield, and now Oregon State has something cooking here with 2 outs.
Going to bring up Tice Peterson here for Oregon State. Beavers trying to stay unbeaten on the year, a perfect 5-0. Strike 1 to Tice Peterson. The Razorbacks, a lot of familiarity with Oregon State. Of course, the 2 have postseason history. They know Oklahoma State really well. Will face the Cowboys tomorrow. But Michigan on Sunday, believe it or not, that will mark the first ever meeting between the Wolverines and Razorbacks.
Wow, that's hard to believe. Well, we get to be here.
0-2. Doesn't chase. The breaking ball stayed up. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Smith tried to backdoor that slider that time, stays up and away.
That's a dozen. And the Beavers strand 2. 12 strikeouts for Hagen Smith. Punches out Tice Peterson for a 2nd time. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless in Arlington.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
3 bands, 1 stadium. Def Leppard, Journey, the Steve Miller Band. Together. 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame icons. Their biggest hits. August 12th, Globe Life Field. Tickets on sale now at DefLeppardJourney2024.com.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Back out at Globe Life Field, Brant Freeman, Pat Combs now joined by the president of Rev Entertainment, Sean Decker, joining us for his second straight week.
Yes.
And boy, Sean, what a way for college baseball to kick off right here in Arlington. This is the second weekend of 3 in a row. Just a tremendous facility for what is a tremendous sport.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know what, for us, the ability to get to do this and to come to bring college baseball to the major league stage now, and to do, I think we're going to play close to 50 college baseball games here this year. And so we were just talking, I mean, different game than just a few years ago, huh?
Oh, man, Sean, outstanding. Yeah, when you come to this big league atmosphere, look at the fan base. I mean, Arkansas we knew was going to bring a lot of fans, but Oregon State showing up well. I mean, this has got to be a dream you guys have had for a long time, to fill a park with college baseball and to see this fan base come with it.
Yeah, you know what, it's been such an exciting thing. We talked about it a little bit last week. For us, you know, when we first started talking about this ballpark was 2017, and I don't think a lot of people thought that college baseball could fill a space like this. And to watch this, nobody told anybody in Arkansas that, though. And,
that's right.
But Oregon State, too, has been just incredible. They were here Tuesday night and started filling the place up.
Hiva Aloy strikes out to start the inning. Aiden May with his fourth strikeout of the night. And I think about the ballpark again. The first year it opened was just 4 years ago. And all the history you've already seen here. 2 World Series. This was the neutral site in 2020 for Tampa and LA. All the Big 12 tournaments, the opening season tournaments we've seen here the past couple of years. But looking at college baseball in particular, what kind of atmosphere have you witnessed here since this ballpark became a haven for college baseball?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think honestly we've learned a lot. We've learned some things that you can't just produce a college baseball game the way you do a Major League Baseball game. So changing the music, trying to be a place for the student athlete to come enjoy, changing the atmosphere. So that's different. You know, we hosted some college football here. We've done some rodeos. So we try to take a little bit of something from everything.
Well, Sean, every coach we speak with raves about the experience here. It's not just coming to play at a big league ballpark, but it's everything you guys do to make it a great week and a great weekend. So tell us some of the kind of the things that you've brought to the college game that has become such an attraction for other coaches to want to be invited here.
Yeah, no, I think honestly we've tried to steal from the college sports, from some of the other college sports, right? We try to make this a little bit like a bowl weekend. So every athlete, when they get here, they get a custom gift when they walk in and get that. They're getting to stay in a big league hotel across the street and get kind of a place they can walk to from a 4 or 5 star hotel straight into the stadium. So it's really about creating something that elevates them and hopefully elevates the sport long term.
Sean, what has this stadium done for the city of Arlington? Now, certainly this is one of the great hubs in the country. The Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium is right there. Arlington's always been, a haven for a lot of big events. But what has this facility done for sporting events in the community in Arlington?
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think between the ballpark, our old stadium, Choctaw Stadium, you got AT&T Stadium across the street. You know, these things are major event centers. They're not just baseball stadiums or football stadiums, or now kind of mixed use. We're hosting some of the biggest conventions, some of the biggest corporate events. What they are 365-day-a-year demand drivers. And ultimately, that keeps your hotels full. It's great for your commerce and your economy. And we're proud to get to play a small part of that here.
Sean, is there anything that gets you super excited about some of the upcoming events you're seeing? I know you've got concerts coming up as well, right?
We do, yeah. So we'll have another weekend of college baseball, and then we'll roll into the American Rodeo. We're really excited about that. We got a rodeo that'll also have Luke Bryan playing one night and Post Malone another night. So that'll be a lot of fun.
That contrast.
No doubt. Then we roll into opening day. Quickly thereafter, we've got a couple concerts. Then we jump into the Big 12 Baseball Championship. So this stretch from now, and then of course we're over the moon about hosting the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in July. So it's going to be a crazy year with a lot of opportunities.
Oh, and don't forget the World Series champions going back to play.
That's it, back to back.
Sean, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time, and it's been a great weekend. Looking forward to a great finish the rest of the weekend here in Arlington.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Pride and joy is measured in acres. Keep them looking their best with the Kubota lineup. Versatile sidekick utility vehicles. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience. Professional grade mowers for a professional cut. It's equipment built with one purpose: to get the job done right.
Football League has arrived, and Arlington, your Renegades are back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cheer on the Renegades and kick off the first ever UFL season at Choctaw Stadium.
This was a dime.
Bring the whole family and be a part of football history.
A little razzle-dazzle.
Head to theUFL.com and buy your Renegades tickets today.
Done, get it right in the fields, let it out. Get it done, get it right in the fields, let it out. Get it done, get it right in the fields, let it out.
Let's get it.
Done, get it right in the fields, let it out. Get it done, get it right in the fields, let it out.
Let's get it.
We head to the fifth inning. Hagen Smith, 4 innings so far, 12 strikeouts, a career high. Previous high was at 9. All 12 outs tonight via the strikeout. He was the opening day starter for the Razorbacks in this building a year ago. Faced the University of Texas, reliving an old Southwest Conference rivalry. In that game against Texas here in Arlington, had 8 strikeouts and 5 shutout innings, but what tonight is a career night for Hagen Smith.
I mean, it's unhittable stuff here. What we're looking at, 12 strikeouts, 4 innings, but 53 pitches in those 4 innings, 42 for strikes. That's 80%. I mean, it's just unhittable stuff. We talk about him being a potential first-round pick. He might be the first overall pick if he keeps pitching like this.
And here's the thing, too. It's not as if he's facing some run-of-the-mill team. This is Oregon State, 7th-ranked Beavers, a team that has Omaha aspirations to win a national championship this season, one of the top lineups in the country, and Hagen Smith has completely overpowered them as he just picked up number 13.
Yeah, this is an elite offense from Oregon State with a lot of veteran hitters that understand the strike zone and understand, when they face a tough pitcher, you've got to do some things different in terms of adjustments, and so far they haven't adjusted, and it's not been because of lack of trying. It's just been because Hagen Smith has been this dominant.
Elijah Hainline bats now for Oregon State. 0 for 1 with the strikeout. Brent Freeman, Pat Combs are with you on a great night for college baseball. 2 premier teams going at it. First time seeing each other in 6 years. Just got done talking with Sean Decker, the president of Rev Entertainment. And what is another great weekend of college baseball in North Texas. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hainline. Swing and a miss. Number 14.
Wow. Wow, it's just remarkable.
So let's talk more about the history between these 2 programs. Dave Van Horn to your left and Mitch Canham to your right. And Mitch Canham was not on the coaching staff when these 2 met in 2018 to the World Series. It was a memorable World Series, although it does conjure up some bad memories for Razorback fans. Of course, Arkansas had the series won, but a ball that was misplayed that could have ended the game in the series, leading to a national championship not made. It opened the door just enough for Oregon State to come back and win that game, and then they won again the following day.
Yeah, I was there at that game, Game 2 of the World Series back in 2018, and I'll never forget that play in right field because it was a player I had coached in summer ball, Eric Cole, who came in. There was some miscommunication there with the second baseman, and that ball dropped in. That would have been the game winner, World Series for the Hogs. And that College World Series championship trophy has eluded Dave Van Horn, but I don't think it's going to be eluding them for much longer.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Zana lays off. It was Caden Griner that tied the game after the misplay. That was followed by Trevor Larnach's go-ahead 2-run homer as the Beavers won Game 2. And then they won the series on Kevin Abel's complete game shutout as Hagen Smith strikes out Travis Bozzana for a 3rd time tonight. He has been unreal. Count him 15 strikeouts for the southpaw, Hagen Smith. 54 coaches in the nation are now the head coaches of the programs they played for, to include Dave Van Horn. Played at Arkansas in the early 1980s. Dave Van Horn is Arkansas baseball after his playing stint with the Razorbacks, some time as a pro. Now, of course, here he is in his 22nd year as head coach. Was inducted into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in 2019.
22nd year at the helm for the Razorbacks, and you know, what can you say? He's built an incredible legacy. You know, 7 College World Series appearances, 19 NCAA regionals, 3 SEC titles, 839 wins. I mean, you know, on the heels of another legend at Arkansas, Norm DeBryan, Dave Van Horn has surpassed what DeBryan built.
So far in this game, it has been a story about pitching, namely Hagen Smith for Arkansas, who is having an unreal performance. 15 strikeouts through 5 innings. And yes, to do the baseball math there, every out he's had tonight has been a strikeout, as Peyton Holt is on for the first time, hit by Aiden May. As you look at the coach, the career rather, of Dave Van Horn, 3-time SEC Coach of the Year, has won that honor twice over the past 3 seasons. And has guided this program to Omaha 7 times. Last year, hosted a regional in Fayetteville and lost to TCU.
Well, we talked about that word consistency when we asked that question, and you go back to 2017. This is how good they've been, how consistent they've been. They have been no worse in the SEC than 18-12. I mean, you think about how tough it is to battle each weekend in the SEC, and they've had that winning record or better.
That's a base hit to left for Jared Spraglot. 2 on, nobody out for the Hogs here in the 5th. Hagen Smith looking for that run support, and the Razorbacks are threatening in the 5th inning.
Yeah, good slider. It was started out middle of the plate, didn't break off the plate like he's been doing most of the night, but that one stayed over the middle. Spraglot able to get the barrel to it. Turns it right back around to left field, and a couple of Hogs on to start this 5th.
You were talking about the model of consistency for Dave Van Horn's program, and you referenced the 2017 season as kind of the beginning of this great run after an aberration of a year in 2016. Since that 17 year, the Razorbacks have won 292 games, more than any other team in the country. Third of that list, by the way, Oregon State, 283.
There you go. Here we are seeing a matchup tonight, and this is I think it's a prelude to what we're going to see in the postseason. You don't know if these two teams will match up in a super, but certainly College World Series, what they both have their sights set on.
Bottom part of the order trying to set the table for the top, which is coming up. After Wilmsmeyer, it's Kendall Diggs.
Aiden May has matched up the zeros that Hagen Smith has produced. Just done it in a more conventional way.
Let me ask you this, Pat. Wilmsmeyer fouls off that pitch on 2 strikes if you're Dave Van Horn. In this situation, do you keep the bunt on?
Yeah, I think you let Wilmsmeyer swing away. He's got great speed, and it's going to be hard to double him up. Produced a single back in the 3rd. I think you let him swing away.
Bunted foul. That's a strikeout for May, and a big break for Oregon State.
Well, good call, Brent. I really thought he might take the bunt off there and let Wilmsmeyer swing it. Dave Van Horn sticks to his guns in terms of trying to advance runners with the bunt. That was a great call.
Try to stab at the ball in the outer half of the plate. Wilmsmeyer unable to come through. Going to bring up Kendall Diggs. 3rd time facing Aiden May. Struck out against him in the 1st and a base hit in the 3rd.
When you get these tight ball games, you kind of think that this is going to be a low-scoring affair. Obviously, with these two starting pitchers throwing the way they are, and you go back and look at these little things that can make or break, a game, and certainly not executing a sac bunt there, that could really hurt.
Well, now if you're May, you're in the danger zone here. You follow behind 2-0. The fastball count against Diggs, who's an excellent fastball hitter.
Yeah, you definitely don't give in to Diggs here. You got to continue to make good pitches. He's going to try to keep that fastball off the middle of the plate. And we're going to see our first time out of the game, first mound visit. It's going to be Rich Dorman, pitching coach for the Beavs.
And Rich Dorman has done a brilliant job with the staff. 5th year with Mitch Canham. And in back-to-back seasons, the Beavers in 2021 and again in 22 set a program record for strikeouts. Over the last 3 years, Oregon State pitchers have piled up more than 1,800 strikeouts.
Yeah, Dorman, a really solid pitching coach, has great background, 3 years at Grand Canyon out in Arizona, and then spent 8 years in the Mariners organization. And now Rich Dorman is calling for home plate umpire Chris Koski to take a look at something in regards to Aiden May. And I wonder if he's having some type of health issue. It appears that he is.
Going to bring out the Oregon State trainer as well. Mitch Canham right to the bullpen phone.
Yeah, Jeremy Ainsworth coming out to the mound, and not sure what they're looking at with May. There's definitely something going on health-wise for him right now.
I didn't catch anything on the delivery. It was last pitch to Diggs, but as you said, something's not right.
Yeah, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary either, and may just be precautionary. Maybe some soreness developing, or I didn't see him checking any particular part of his arm. So, but this is going to mean Aiden May comes out of the game, and Oregon State will bring a reliever in.
Yeah, it's going to be it for Aiden May. The Beavers will be allotted enough time for a relief pitcher to get warmed up and ready. So we got 2 on, 1 out here at the bottom of the 5th, and a 2-0 hitter's count to Kendall Diggs. Aiden May, after that last miss, calling for Rich Dorman to come out along with the team trainer, and that's going to be it for his start tonight. Let's take a look at the last pitch for Aiden May.
Yeah, see if we can pick up anything in regards to his reaction. Yeah, still nothing out of the ordinary. Went to his belt with his throwing arm, but no real reaction there. Now he's starting to kind of loosen up his elbow, so it could have been something he felt in his elbow. Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. What an outing for Aiden May, and matched up well with Hagen Smith tonight. Of course, he's had to be really good, and he had been, and unfortunately for him, it's going to be the end of his night.
We'll step aside. In the 5th inning, Arkansas is threatening as the Beavers go to the bullpen for the first time tonight. Aiden May's second start as an Oregon State Beaver ends early, leaves the game with some apparent arm, elbow, or wrist trouble. Don't know exactly what. His outing ends, Pat, but strong. And 4 1/3 tonight, finishes with 5 strikeouts for the Beavers.
Yeah, great outing for May. And It wasn't, you know, the strikeout machine we've seen with Hagen Smith, but been very serviceable, very efficient. Leaves the game with 65 pitches, 44 strikes. He's not allowed to run, although the two runners, the two hogs on base, are his responsibility. But struck out Wilmsmeyer on the attempted bunt attempt that went foul.
So into the game now, the big left-hander Nelson Keljo, 6'4", 226 out of Portland, Oregon. Into the game now for the Beavers. Second appearance of the year, made 23 a year ago as a freshman. 21 2/3 innings, struck out 32 a season ago.
Well, the big lefty has a big arsenal to match. His fastball sits mid-90s. He's touched 96. Has a nice slider to go with it, 85 to 86 on the slider. Got great stuff from that left-handed side, and Mitch Canham says, I like the matchup here with Kendall Diggs. And he'll be facing a count of 2 balls and no strikes when Diggs gets back in the box.
Yeah, you said it, Pat. Not only is Keljo inheriting 2 base runners, but a pitch count. 2-0 to Diggs. Peyton Holt at second base. Jared Sprague-Lott at first. Razorbacks looking to get on the board. Now 3-0 to Diggs, with Hudson White waiting on deck.
Keljo making his second appearance in the season. Did pitch 1 2/3 innings in that appearance. Gave up 3 hits, but had 3 strikeouts.
Gotta load him up.
That walk will belong to May.
Now some real trouble here for Keljo. Part of the order coming up. Hudson White now for Arkansas. Glad to see May in the dugout. Faced him twice, struck out twice. And so far, Aiden May, 3 pitches, none for strikes. Another miss is 2-0.
A great spot for Hudson White. Really improved as a catcher. He's always had the offensive prowess, and Arkansas went after him hard as a recruit out of high school. Lost out to them when he went to Tech. Then transferred, hit the portal last summer, and transferred from Tech to Arkansas. And a huge pickup for Dave Van Horn.
Just like that, it's 2-2.
Good job by Keljo to get back into the count. Now we'll see if we go back to that slider.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Big strikeout for Keljo. White's 0 for 3. Has struck out 3 times, and the Beavers are 1 out away from getting out of the jam.
Yeah, had White set up for that slider, came hard in that previous pitch, and then that pitch kind of backdoors that slider, and Hudson White gave up on it.
Just froze him. And now Ben McLaughlin. 5 hits on the year. Steps in, first pitch swinging. And to center. McDowell on the run. It's not going to get there. That's going to clear the bases. 3-0 Razorbacks.
Keljo tries to front door the slider. Kind of a get-me-over pitch. Make it a fastball. I thought that was a slider, but it's a fastball up over the plate. McLaughlin was right on time with it. He just scorches that ball over Micah McDowell's head in center field, and just like that, a 3-0 Arkansas lead.
Bases clearing double for Ben McLaughlin. And with the way that Hagen Smith is pitching right now, a 3-0 deficit feels like 13-0. Inning not over yet. Vahiva Aloy coming up now for the Razorbacks after the double from McLaughlin. A clutch 2-out hit for Arkansas. Aloy goes around. It's 0-1. That was Arkansas's first 2-out hit of the game. What a time for that. 1 ball, 1 strike to Aloy.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn very impressed with Aloy, and obviously the transfer from Sacramento State, but he's a really physical hitter. Hits for average, hits for power. He's really the complete shortstop.
Swings and misses on the ladder on the fastball there. It's 1-2. All 3 runs of the inning charged to Aiden May. Holt, Spraglott, Diggs all scoring the double from McLaughlin. A strikeout ends the inning. But the damage done by the Razorbacks. A bases clearing double from Ben McLaughlin. One of the Hogs' top SEC hitters a year ago comes through in the clutch. Here in the 5th against Oregon State. With 2 outs, he drives in 3 with 1 swing. 3-0. Hogs going into the 6th inning here in Arlington.
Watch me. Watch me jump, dive, and splash. Put me by a pool, I'll be soaked in a flash. A girl in the water to swim like a fish. Just 2 simple legs, that was my wish. I'm a sea turtle, shark, a seal on a slide. This is my day of fun, with nothing to hide. Watch me. Pioneers in orthotic and prosthetic technology at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Kane Brown in the Air Tour. Saturday, September 14th, Globe Life Field. Special guests, Cole Swindell, Locash, and Ray Lynn. Crossover superstar Kane Brown live.
Inning number 6 underway. Hagen Smith, 6th inning of work, and now has a lead. 3-0 Razorbacks on top. A clutch 2-out, 3-run double for Ben McLaughlin, scoring the game's first runs. And what a play from second base. Peyton Holt to McLaughlin. 1 out.
Oh, man. Incredible. What a play by the Hogs second baseman. Just to even get to that ball. I mean, 8 steps to his right. Throws off balance. What a pickup by McLaughlin at first base. Follow up the big inning with the big defensive play.
Yeah, great stretch, keeping that toe in the bag. And believe it or not, that, here we are in the 6th inning, is the first out of the game for Smith that wasn't a strikeout.
That's incredible. I mean, yeah, it's just to think about your pitcher with all those strikeouts. What does defense tend to do? They tend to get relaxed, right? So, yeah, I mean, the ball was laced up the middle. Looked like a sure base hit for McDowell. And Holt erases him on the first out. That's not a strikeout here in the 6th.
It's worth noting there's a key part of the Razorbacks infield not active right now. Peyton Stovall, team captain, out with a broken foot, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Suffered the injury in a preseason scrimmage. And so Arkansas having to turn to other sources in the infield like Peyton Holt and makes a big play there. As Guerra lays off, it's 2-2.
And now we got a stoppage here. It was a call by Andrew Fulton, the third base umpire. Chris Koski out to check on what the call was. I think it was just a warning to Hagen Smith. In terms of where he had his foot placed on the rubber, but play ball.
16. This has been a performance for the ages for Hagen Smith.
Yeah, not much more you can say. I mean, that's just a combination fastball slider. And we've been hearing talk of the split finger, but he just hasn't needed to use it much. I think he may have thrown that pitch one time early on.
Velo is still there for Smith. You look at the pitch count so far in the game. He's up to 74. Fastball still there, the mid to upper 90s. Talked about the footwork on the rubber, what our third base umpire Andrew Fulton was looking for moments ago.
It looks fine to me. I mean, just as long as any part of your foot's making contact with the rubber, that's what you got to do. So
the slider for Smith still has bite.
Pitches to the far left-handed side of that rubber. That's typically what left-handers really like to set up. It's just a better angle. Tougher for the right-handed hitters, especially, to pick up the pitch.
Last fastball at 96. To Smith. Doesn't look like he's tiring out right now. Boy, and the Razorbacks thought that was strike 3. The infield was on its way to the dugout. Michael Banks says that Gavin Turley checked his swing.
Well, I think the swing was fine. I thought the pitch was good, and a slider that was down and in, but looked like it was caught some of the plate.
An unreal performance continues for Hagen Smith. 17 strikeouts against the Oregon State Beavers.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
3 bands, 1 stadium. Def Leppard, Journey, the Steve Miller Band. Together. 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame icons. Their biggest hits. August 12th, Globe Life Field. Tickets on sale now at DefLeppardJourney2024.com.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. Saturday, June 15th, Globe Life Field, with special guests Tedeschi Trucks Band and Marcus King. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. New album, Higher, available now.
The previous career high for strikeouts for Hagen Smith was 9. He's 1 away from doubling that tonight, up to 17 through 6 innings of work. The most a pitcher struck out a season ago in all of D1 baseball was 17 strikeouts. Ty Floyd, LSU, and Wyatt Hudepole from Charlotte each had 17 strikeout games. And Hagen Smith has matched that. The highest total over the past 2 years is 19 from Ben Zeller out of Siena. And again, Hagen Smith has done this in just 6 innings. Only one of his outs tonight has not come with a strikeout, as Helfrich pops up, and that catch not made. And Helfrich winds up at second base on a ball that hung in the air for what felt like 10 minutes. Caraway can't make the catch.
Yeah, tough play for Ryden Helfrich, and make that Caraway. Gosh, you know, these players don't get a chance to practice or play much in stadiums like this with covered roof, and obviously lost the ball as it got up, you know, into those rafters and just couldn't make the play. I mean, it's rare it happens, but it happened tonight, and Helfrich gets a 2-bag error out of it.
First error of the game for either team. E5 charged to Caraway, and you saw the replay. The ball was in his glove, but as he came down to the dirt, The ball and the glove popped off. That's a scorch up the middle. Into center it goes. Helfrich around third. 4-0. Arkansas. Jason Jones delivers.
98-mile-an-hour exit velocity off the bat of Jones, and that ball was scorched. You see Keljo just ducking to get out of the way, and Helfrich rounding third. Falls down, but plenty of time for him to get back up and complete the run. That'll be the 4th run for the Hogs. And Jason Jones at first base with the RBI.
Willing to bet that Ryder Helfrich's teammates are going to be showing him that in the film room.
That's the old kangaroo court find right there.
Going to bring up Peyton Holt. Had that really good play at second base. Here he grounds to short. And that's going to turn into a double play. In second, the Beavers have turned tonight. 2 outs in the inning. That'll empty the bases now for Jared Spreglock. And Holt is grounded into both double plays for Arkansas.
Brent, you mentioned a couple of pitchers in the NCAA last year that hit 17 strikeouts. Major League history, I don't know the college record. I'm trying to look it up, but only 5 times have Major League pitchers had 20+ Ks in a game. Of course, Roger Clemens did it twice, but 17 Ks in a college game. And I don't know, they were giving hugs to Hagen Smith in the dugout. I don't know if his night is over, or they were just simply congratulating him for getting through the 6th inning there. But still the pitch count only 78. I could see him coming out for the 7th inning, but we'll see what happens.
One of the 20 strikeout games I remember vividly, Kerry Wood for the Chicago Cubs against the Houston Astros when he was a rookie in 1998.
That's exactly right. And Clemens did it in '86, and then 10 years later in 1996. 21 Ks against the Seattle Mariners in that '86 game.
So the record for a major leaguer to start a game with strikeouts is 9. Pablo Lopez, Venezuelan descent, for the Miami Marlins against Atlanta in July of 2021. The previous record was 8, accomplished by 3 different pitchers: Jim DeShays, Jacob deGrom, and Herman Marquez.
Wow.
Full count. That ball launched to left field, but it's going to die. And coming in is Turley. He'll make the catch on the run. That'll do it for the Razorbacks in the 6th. But another run is across. 4-0 Arkansas on top of Oregon State. We head to the 7th inning from Globe Life Field here in North Texas. As Arkansas has added to its lead courtesy of Jason Jones. 4-0 Hogs here in North Texas. They just showed Hagen Smith on the video board in Arlington because his night is done. And he's gotten a curtain call from the Razorback fans here at Globe Life Field. Well deserved. Hagen Smith, an all-timer tonight. 6 innings, 17 strikeouts as his Razorbacks lead 4-0. With Arkansas finally going to the bullpen here. They're going to turn to Will McIntyre. Big right-hander for the Razorbacks, 6'4", 225. righty from Bryant, Arkansas, on the mound now for the Razorbacks. And this is his 4th season now in the program. 1-0 this year, 12-5 in his career. ERA of 5.07 a year ago. And Pat, the big question right now, why take Hagen Smith out of the game?
Yeah, pitch count was approaching 80, so he was at 78 pitches. Look, a lot of these pitch counts are predetermined before the game, and as good as he was going, I think Matt Hobbs, you know, and Dave Van Horn had that conversation. Hey, do we want to stretch him out? Is there a need to stretch him out here? And I think they just came to a decision. Hey, he's been great tonight. Could they pitched him one more inning, possibly get him to 90 pitches plus? They think maybe after that short stint last week, maybe his arm strength wasn't quite there yet. So why not be a little bit more precautious with the season being so young?
The final line tonight for Hagen Smith, as you watch Brady Casper bat for the Beavers here in the 7th. 6 innings, 3 hits, all singles, no runs, a single walk, and a record-setting 17 strikeouts.
Yeah, look, I've seen no-hitters, I've seen perfect games. That's about as dominant a performance I've seen at this level, especially against an elite offense like Oregon State.
Casper just got a piece of that, able to stay alive.
And if you're Oregon State now, Brent, you're going, thank goodness, right? We got another arm other than Hagen Smith we get to face, and it's like, yeah, I bet they're throwing a little bit of a party in the dugout. Hey, we got 9 outs to work with somebody other than Smith.
That's a great point. During the curtain call, I was wondering if the Oregon State dugout was on his feet as well. Happy to see Hagen Smith out of the game.
Absolutely.
1-2. That's in the dirt. And with this offense, as you said, 9 outs to score 4 runs, the Beavers are certainly more than capable of making up the deficit.
Yeah, nothing against Will McIntyre. I mean, this is a veteran right-hander that, he's had 18 starts over the past couple of seasons. And even though it's not overpowering velocity, a good compliment to come in behind Smith. A good 4-pitch mix. He's added a great changeup, really worked on that hard in the fall. The fastball, cutter, curveball, change. And you got geared up every at-bat to face 97 to 100 from Hagen Smith. That's going to look like a much different pitch coming in at 88 to 90.
Casper, one of the 3 hits against Smith. And here with another base hit in this game. So he's on to start the 7th inning. Casper coming off a big opening weekend, 5 hits this past weekend in Arizona, driving in 7. And a good start for Oregon State.
Well, great job of defeating the positioning of the infield. They had the infield pulled over. Hiva Aloy was pulled behind second base. So the Hogs had the shift on, and Casper able to defeat it.
Trent Caraway is 1 for 2 for Oregon State.
Good slider there. Caraway way out in front. That first pitch offering.
Tomorrow night, the Beavers taking on Michigan, a team that Oregon State's 4-0 against all time. Part of that 2007 run to the national championship, Oregon State beat Michigan to the Supers on the way to his 2nd straight national title. And again, Mitch Canham a part of both of those teams. Then as a catcher for the Beavers.
What you love about a Mitch Canham coach team is there's no panic in that dugout. Oregon State is going to approach this with every at bat with the, again, like he talks about, the opportunity to make something happen, to get a big inning going. Got the leadoff runner with Casper at first base. That ball almost thrown away.
That's another good play by McLaughlin over first base there for the Razorbacks.
McLaughlin with a nice deke, trying to see both those guys laughing. McLaughlin tried to act like he didn't catch it. Casper wasn't going for it.
Again, Will McIntyre in the game now for Arkansas after 6 brilliant innings from Hagen Smith. And McIntyre has his first strikeout.
Yeah, well-located slider. Starts off on the outside corner, just breaks down and away off the plate. Caraway had no chance.
Again, this is a very capable Beavers offense, a lot back from a year ago. 71% of the team's home runs, 72% of the doubles, and 84% of the stolen bases. So far, this offense shut down after putting up 42 runs opening weekend and teeing off against Texas Tech on Wednesday. Got a pinch hitter up here for Oregon now. It's Dallas Macias. Pinch hitting for Tice Peterson.
Well, it's that time in the game when you're trying to play some matchups here with the Macias coming off the bench, the left-handed bat. Peterson had all kinds of trouble with Hagen Smith, and Mitch Canham chooses to go with the lefty.
Sophomore out of Parker, Colorado, takes a strike. Oregon State won 41 games last year after winning 48 the year prior. Some of the biggest losses this team suffered from a year ago came with the pitching staff. Ace Trent Sellers, who had more than 100 strikeouts. Closer Ryan Brown, 11 saves. Two of the biggest holes Mitch Canham's had to patch over the offseason. That's out of play. A ball and 2 strikes here to Macias. So many great players have come through the Beavers program. 15 Pac-12 Player of the Year awards in team history. Names like Jacoby Ellsbury, Michael Conforto, Nick Madrigal, and most recently Jacob Melton 2 years ago. In the air, right center field. That's going to reach the warning track. And rounding third is Casper on his way home, and the Beavers are on the board on a pinch hit double by Dallas Macias.
Yeah, that's why those big-time coaches get paid big-time money, right? You just know when to put those pinch hitters in, and this time works out really well for Oregon State. They get off the schneid, get that first run on the board, and Macias with the RBI double. Beavs looking to cut this lead in half with another swing.
And don't look now, but the tying run is on deck as Tanner Smith comes up here for the Beavers. One of those players, happy to see Smith in the dugout now. Struck out against him twice. It takes a pitch here. It's 1 ball to no strikes.
I'll bring a visit from Matt Hobbs. First time he's had to visit a mound tonight. Pitching coach for Arkansas. 6th year with the Hogs. Spent 4 years at Wake Forest back in 14 to 18, and at Missouri, his alma mater, is where he got his coaching career going as well. But great recruiter, does a great job developing the staff.
And he has had a massive impact since joining Dave Van Horn's staff. Since his arrival in 2019, 19 Razorback pitchers drafted more than any other program in the country.
Now the Beavers will take their offensive timeout.
If Oregon State can find a way to get a couple of base runners here, it brings the Beavers back to the top of the lineup to Bazana. This is a big window here for Oregon State. An opportunity to set the table for Bazana and McDowell for the bottom part of the order batting right now. The 8-hole hitter, Tanner Smith. That rolls away towards the on-deck circle, and Macias is now at third.
breaking pitch that just eats up Hudson White. Not able to keep in front. Yeah, that ball hit off his shoulder. Didn't quite keep those shoulders squared up, and that will advance Macias 90 feet away from cutting this Hog lead down to 2.
Hitters count 2-0 coming up for Smith. And Skies will pop up into shallow center, and the catch is made by the shortstop Alloy. Runner coming home, he's going to score. Macias on his horse crosses home plate. This is a 2-run game. And how about the adventures for the 2 infielders? Holt and Alloy end up crossing past each other before it's Alloy making the catch.
Yeah, the ball's popped up by Smith right behind the second base bag, and there was a collision there between Holt and Alloy, and looked like both of them were calling it. None of them wanted to give way, and Alloy ends up with it, but could not get himself squared up to make a good throw home, and then that collision kind of knocked him off balance, and that allows that second run to score.
And you saw the reaction from Holt afterwards, kind of shrugging his shoulders, saying, I think that should have been mine.
Well, you got both of them calling for it, and again, it's the center fielder at that point has to play referee, or he has to have a louder voice than the 2 guys calling it. So just some miscommunication there, but the ball was popped up directly behind the bag, so really you couldn't kind of point your finger at either one of them. I think they both wanted to take control of that situation.
0-2 to Elijah Hainline.
In those situations, and look, teams practice this, where if a shortstop calls it, he usually is the guy that will take that ball.
Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for McIntyre. But with Hagen Smith now out of the game, the Beavers have found a way to score. 2 in the inning, and it's time to stretch in Arlington. 4-2, Razorbacks on top.
Watch me. Watch me tumble, jump, and soar. When our squad is on point, we own the floor. Dazzling stunts and dances are my jam. Pain once caused issues, but they had a plan. A life-changing brace with no surgery to fear. Activity without limits, one more reason to cheer. Watch me. Industry-leading scoliosis treatment at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Your pride and joy is measured in acres. Keep them looking their best with the Kubota lineup. Versatile sidekick utility vehicles. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience. Professional grade mowers for a professional cut. It's equipment built with one purpose: to get the job done right.
The American Western Weekend. 2 nights of Western sports and live entertainment. Deep in the heart of Texas. March 8th and 9th, Globe Life Field. Friday night, the American Performance Horsemen with a concert by Luke Bryan. Saturday night, the American Rodeo with a concert by Post Malone. The American Western Weekend, March 8th and 9th. Tickets on sale at AmericanRodeo.com.
Heading into the bottom of the 7th, here's how we got here. The starting pitchers, Aiden May for Oregon State, left with some discomfort in the 5th inning. His counterpart, Hagen Smith, absolutely lights out. One of the performances of the young season. 6 scoreless innings, 17 strikeouts for Arkansas, and the Razorbacks lead 4-2 heading into the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, unfortunate situation for Aiden May and the Beavers, and if there's a question mark at all regarding this Beaver roster, it was just the starting pitching. Who was going to be the guys to fill those starting rotation on the weekend and midweek starters. And of course, Aiden May goes down. You've got plenty of great arms to choose from, but not a ton of experience. You've got some good experience front end, back into the bullpen, but some good freshman arms, and might be a situation if May's down, who do you turn to next?
Wilmsmeyer puts a bunt down. Keljo Barehand flip to first base. Well covered by Guerra. 1 out here in the 7th.
Yeah, what a great decision by Mason Guerra at third base. Was not sure that Keljo was going to get to that ball, and Keljo, a much better athlete. He looks with that body on the mound, but he got off the mound quick and made a nice diving play to grab it and flip it to Guerra for the out.
What's interesting is that Wilmsmeyer struggled to put a sac bunt down early in the game. That time nearly bunted himself on. Looked a lot better that time around. And now to the top of the order to Kendall Diggs here for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, Nelson Keljo, you can see him falling off to the right side of the mound towards the third baseline. So even tougher for a lefty to get to that ball. And Guerra was trying to read it if he's going to get there or not. But Keljo got there quickly.
The big offensive moment for the Razorbacks in this game. The bases clearing 2-out double hit by Ben McLaughlin. At the time, it was a scoreless game. Arkansas added to the lead on a base hit from Jason Jones in the 6th, but the Beavers scoring twice in the top of the 7th. Only a 2-run game. Now back by Diggs, it's 2-2.
Had a good fastball there out over the plate. Diggs just missed it.
2 of the top leadoff men of the country tonight. Kendall Diggs for Arkansas, Travis Bazzana for the Beavers, and we're going to see him lead off the 8th. Count remains 2-2.
Talking to Dave Van Horn this week and asking about, what does he like about this team? He says, it's one of the more fun teams he's been around. These guys really enjoy each other. They're great teammates. So obviously we lost some key players, but Kendall Diggs, Peyton Stovall, some others have provided some great leadership on this team. And he said, I can't be more pleased in the way these guys have come together. He says it's a really tight team that likes to have fun.
A family-like atmosphere in Fayetteville as Diggs is aboard for the 3rd time. Hit by that pitch by Keljo. Man on with a 1 out for Arkansas here in the 7th inning. We talked about it, Pat, and great locker room, great culture, a team that loves to compete, a tight-knit family, and no question the goal for this team this year is not just to get to Omaha. You hear the term sometimes Omahogs, but it's to win the national championship.
Yeah, no doubt. And I've had a number of players I've coached in summer ball that have gone to Arkansas. They all say the same thing. The culture there is so strong, and it comes from the players. I think Dave Van Horn said it during the interview, and it comes from within. I got great assistant coaches, but these players really dictate the culture inside that locker room.
Well, that's going to be it for Keljo. He just gone through the order once, and Mitch Canham wanted to keep that from happening a second time through. So Oregon State making a change, trying to keep this a 2-run game. 4-2 Razorbacks. A man on, 1 out in the 7th inning. We're back after this with a new Oregon State pitcher. Back in Arlington, Texas for another great weekend of college baseball. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Kubota. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in. Like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Look at Pudge Rodriguez, his statue outside of Globe Life Field, a Texas Rangers legend. Played all of his Ranger baseball games at the old ballpark in Arlington, now known as Choctaw Stadium. Here we are now in year 4 of this facility, Globe Life Field. And Arkansas on top 4-2. as the Beavers have made a change. Mason Keljo out of the game. A.J. Hutchison is in now for the Beavers. Sophomore right-hander from Elk Grove, California, and now for Oregon State.
Yeah, the 5'10 right-hander had an up and down year last season with Oregon State. Led the club with 26 appearances, ended up with a 5.4 ERA. This year making his second appearance out of the pen. Sidewinder, sinker, slider combination, awfully tough on right-handed hitters. Opposing hitters only hit 226 against him last season.
So he comes in now for the Beavers with Kendall Diggs at first base. Keljo gave Oregon State 2 innings in relief. He's going to face off, Hutchison will, against Hudson White. Been a tough night for the Razorbacks catcher, 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. Ball 1 to the breaking ball.
Yeah, White received the steady diet of sliders off the right arm of Hayden May.
Second appearance on the year for Hutchison. A perfect inning of relief against Minnesota this past weekend. And the third pitcher that Mitch Canham has used tonight.
Nice pickoff from Hutchinson, almost caught Diggs at first base.
And trying to shorten that lead over there first. Arkansas, not a team that ran a ton a year ago. Only attempted 69 stolen bases. Wound up stealing 53.
Sinker at 84. You see Hutchinson when he sets up, he'll set up with that split change in his hand. Of course, he'll change his grip depending on the pitch call or if he's going to go to first base.
Up the middle, and it's kind of knocked back towards home plate by Hutchison, throw to first base. And so White just out by a hair, but it does move Diggs over to second.
Yeah, that ball off the bat of White just kind of stuck to the ground, hugged the turf, and popped up there off of Hutchinson's glove, and he was able to locate it, recover, make the out in time. Nice pick again by Guerra at first base. Diggs does move up 90 feet. He'll represent another runner in scoring position for Arkansas.
And Al McLaughlin, the big hit in this game, that bases clearing double in the 5th inning. That's high. So McLaughlin, first baseman for the Razorbacks, has also made a couple of really good defensive plays in this game. And his second year with the program. That's in there for a strike. It's 1-1. A year ago, going to pinch it for some big hits in conference play. A little soft pop up in no man's land, and that's going to be caught on the run by Casper. A ball that nearly blooped in for another Razorback run. Instead, hunted down by Casper, keeps this a 2-run game. We head to the 8th inning. Some good Oregon State defense as Casper limps his way into the dugout. It's still 4-2, Arkansas the lead.
Your pride and joy is measured in acres. Keep them looking their best with the Kubota lineup. Versatile sidekick utility vehicles. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience. Professional grade mowers for a professional cut. It's equipment built with one purpose: to get the job done right.
elevate your ballpark experience with a tour of Globe Life Field and experience the home of the Texas Rangers like never before. Go behind the scenes and explore premium spaces, unique club settings, luxury suites, and more. Along the way, you'll discover rich history, impressive architecture, and fun photo opportunities around every corner. Globe Life Field's many tour offerings are sure to take your ballpark visit to the next level. For more information and to book your experience, visit globelifefield.com.
Kane Brown in the Air Tour. Saturday, September 14th, Globe Life Field. Special guests, Cole Swindell, Locash, and Ray Lynn. Crossover superstar Kane Brown live. So thank God I get to on sale now at KaneBrownMusic.com. Presented by AEG Presents.
And we're back in Arlington as we look at Mitch Canham in the dugout for Oregon State. Let's take it through the years. Mitch Canham as a player for the Beavers, winning back-to-back national championships as a catcher, 2006 and again in 2007. Back in Corvallis, fifth year now as the head coach of this Oregon State program. As we go to the top of the eighth inning, and Mitch Canham's Beavers down 4-2 and facing a new pitcher in the game now is Stone Hewlett, a transfer from Kansas, on the mound now for Dave Van Horn.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn likes this left-hander to match up against left-handers in the lineup. So he'll face Bazzana to start the eighth. Uses a heavy fastball, 88 to 90 miles an hour. A good run with the fastball and kind of a breaking pitch that's more like a slurve.
Third appearance on the year already for Hewlett, and Bazzana is on for the first time. Great speed, a hard turnaround first base, but Bazzana is going to go back to first. Leadoff base hit will bring up the tying run now for Oregon State.
I just love that hard-nosed approach by Travis Bazzana. And struck out 3 times against Hagen Smith, but turns this fastball delivery from Hewlett around, and huge leadoff runner for Oregon State. We're in the top of the eighth.
Again, what a talent, Bazzana, for Oregon State. One of the top players in the country. Huge opening weekend, homer 3 times as McDowell ahead here against Hewlett. 1 ball to no strikes. Stone Hewlett pitched twice in the JMU series. Now making his first appearance here in Arlington. Former Kansas Jayhawk out of the Big 12. 2-0 to McDowell. More on Bazzana. Preseason first-team All-American from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, great story, too. Asking Mitch Canham about Bazzana. He says, hey, we don't have time to talk about him. I could talk about him for hours. He's just one of those players you love because of his attitude he brings every day, his hard work ethic. But he's just a great all-around person. He said, off the field, he's one of our leaders. He's so special when it comes to treating other people right, and he gives of his time to some organizations. Just a great all-around human being.
Has really taken to the Corvallis community for sure. Player with big league aspirations now. Incredible year last year as a sophomore for Bazzana. 2-2 to McDowell. And Hewlett a miss. A slider. And McDowell, when offer at it, fills the count 3-2.
Well, interesting spot here for Canham. Does he want to put Bazzana in motion? Does he trust McDowell to put the ball in play? Full count.
Bazzana takes off. A strikeout. Bazzana to second base, and he's in. Stole 36 bases last year. And the former cricket player from Australia is now in scoring position.
Well, gutsy call for Mitch Canham. Down 2 runs here, and you certainly don't want to strike him out, throw him out situation. But there's a picture of Travis Bazzana as a former cricket player. How about that?
How about that? Was it a racket? Paddle?
Yeah, the paddle.
Paddle.
Yeah.
How about the design of the paddle?
Went full full cow design.
And that's going to be it for Hewlett. Dave Van Horn's going to make a change. Razorbacks again trying to protect this 2-run lead. The tying run is coming up, and Mason Guerra, a call to the pen for the Hogs. Gage Wood into the game when we come back in Arlington. Well, again, Razorback Nation has showed out and then some at Globe Life Field. And right now, this fan base is looking for the Razorbacks to finish things off, leading 4-2 in the 8th inning. And now Arkansas turning to sophomore right-hander Gage Wood, who a year ago emerged as the team's closer as a true freshman. 23 appearances last season, 2-0, sub-5 ERA. And Pat, really good strikeout numbers, 42 across 30 innings a year ago.
Yeah, Gage Wood's the real deal, and one of the better arms in that bullpen, and tries to keep things simple. Has that high slot. He'll sit 92, 93. He's had his fastball up to 96, but really focused on throwing more strikes, having better command, and has really developed his secondary pitches. Added a cutter and a splitter that he uses as a waste pitch, but he'll get hitters chasing it.
Actually made his college debut here against TCU at Globe Life Field. Later in that same weekend, struck out the side against Oklahoma State in Arlington. So use this ballpark as he faces Guerra. And the first pitch in there on the breaking ball, strike one.
And making his second appearance of this season, already has recorded a save. Through 2 1/3, gave up 1 hit, struck out 4, no walks. Wood off to a good start here at 24.
Guerra has been on once. A couple of strikeouts and a walk tonight for Oregon State. The Beavers' top run producer last year drove in 56. And good power numbers. 12 homers in 2023. For the junior out of Beaverton, Oregon. You come from Beaverton, you're destined to play for the Beavers, aren't you?
It sounds right to me.
Razorback fans, what of that call?
Yeah, fastball just missed on the outside, and see if he goes back to the slider here.
Swung on, there's a drive, deep to left, tie game. Mason Guerra launched that to left, and with one swing, it's 4-4.
Well, Gage Wood went back to the slider. The only problem was he left it hanging out over the middle, and Mason Guerra did not miss it. That ball with an exit velocity of 113 miles an hour, and he drills that ball down the left field line. Second deck here at Globe Life Field. Absolute no-doubter. And with one swing, the Beavs tie it up.
An absolute try from Guerra. Talked about his power, just showed it off here at the home of the Texas Rangers. The Beavers once stat 4-0, and now we're all square, 4-4.
Again, Brent, you look down in that dugout. They're down 4-0. Hagen Smith is just blowing cheese. 17 strikeouts. And we talked about it. There's no panic in that dugout. Once Smith left the game, I think there was just some relief that settled over that Beaver lineup. And they said, hey, anything other than Hagen Smith at the moment is a win for us. And have they taken advantage of this Arkansas bullpen? 4 runs in the last couple of innings.
Third homer of the year given up by this Razorback staff. Surrendered 82 a year ago. And that's strike 1 to Gavin Turley. And with that, Hagen Smith will get a no decision tonight. That is a blip on his line this evening. 0-2 to Turley.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's hard to swallow if you're a starting pitcher. You just think, man, as good as this bullpen is, they'll back Hagen Smith up plenty this year. There's no doubt.
Struck him out on 3 pitches. Turley 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts tonight.
A good bounce back by Gage Wood. You give up the tying home run, you bounce right back, and 3 pitches, 3 strikes, records a strikeout. Good composure on his part.
See a little more life in that Beavers dugout after the Guerra homer. And here's Casper, a couple of base hits, his Friday. Feels like the deeper games go, the better this lineup gets for Oregon State.
Well, it's just no give up in this lineup. Some veteran bats.
Two balls, no strikes to Casper. On the ground is second. Holt will end the inning. But for the second straight inning, the Beavers put up a 2-spot. A massive shot to left from Mason Guerra. With this swing, this game is tied 4-4, heading into the bottom of the 8th from Globe Life Field.
Your pride and joy is measured in acres. Keep them looking their best with the Kubota lineup. Versatile sidekick utility vehicles. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience. Professional grade mowers for a professional cut. It's equipment built with one purpose: to get the job done right.
With Pie Prime by Solo Stove, you can finally think outside the cardboard box. The best pizza isn't delivered to the front door. It's made in the backyard. It doesn't come from a restaurant. It comes from you. Anywhere can be your favorite pizza spot. Any day of the week, all year long. Pie Prime is the pizza oven that's simple enough to be your first and powerful enough to be your last. Pie Prime by Solo Stove.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
The bottom of the 8th underway as you look at the score by inning. At the bottom of the 8th, 4-4 our score. Razorbacks jumped out to 4-0 lead. Oregon State getting some late inning offense and some big swings as you look back at how this inning just started. And Vahiva Aloy hit by a pitch. And so the go-ahead run now on for Arkansas in a game that's had everything tonight. There's a bunt put down. That's a really good bunt and trying to cover the base at first, and the play's not made. Hutchison can't beat Helfrich to the bag. 2 on, nobody out for the Razorbacks. But now Oregon State might be calling for runners interference here.
Yeah, taking a look at it, it's a sacrifice bunt by Helfrich and lays down a dandy. Flip from first baseman Guerra over to Hutchinson, and I think Hutchinson was late getting to the bag, but there was a collision behind the first base bag as Travis Bizzana, the second baseman, was going to back up the play. Watch the collision between Helfrich and Bizzana. Bizzana definitely got the worst of that.
So Oregon State immediately signaled for a challenge, at least the players were. It was Guerra that turned around to the dugout and gave the universal earmuffs. And they're going to go back and look at this, but I believe what's being challenged here is whether or not Helfrich did in fact beat Hutchinson to the bag.
Well, I think that's what Guerra was arguing at first. When he said, hey, taking a look at it, he felt like the flip and the throw to first base with Hutchinson covering was in time. I didn't think that was the case. Now, was there runner's interference? Was Helfrich running inside the runner's lane? That could be another question that comes about.
And again, a game that's had everything. Hagen Smith, Razorback starter, a game for the ages, 6 innings, 17 strikeouts. But he's going to get a no decision because the Beavers have battled back to score 4 unanswered against the Razorbacks bullpen. Game-tying 2-run homer for Guerra at the top of this inning. The big hit for the Beavers. Razorbacks had a huge hit of their own in the 5th. A bases clearing double hit by Ben McLaughlin. And so here we stand 4-4, and right now they're looking at this play.
Yeah, it's a huge call, and you know, Guerra is arguing that the foot of Hutchinson beat Helfrich to the bag. That was bang bang, no doubt. There was a lot going on here, though. You got Bizzana coming behind the bag.
And Bobby Warnes, who's at first base for Arkansas, his head's kind of blocking the replay angle there. So I don't see anything definitive to overturn that particular call. Oh, look.
This might be a better angle here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that looks like Hutchinson's foot just beats Helfrich. Yeah, you can see where the first base umpire got blocked out of that play with Bizzana coming over to the bag. I think he just got blocked. That appears like Hutchinson's foot beats Helfrich.
Unless Helfrich's heel is on at the same time that Hutchinson's is, but I think they're going to overturn this.
Well, it'll go down as a sac bunt nonetheless, and Vahiva Aloy goes to second base. So Arkansas accomplishes the sac bunt, but Helfrich is out at first base.
Ryder Helfrich with a remarkable bunt, but out by a step. Less than a step.
And obviously there's no interference behind the bag when that collision with Helfrich and Bizzana occurred. That has no bearing on the play. So the out is recorded 3-1 on the putout, and it's a sac bunt for Helfrich. Now there'll be a pitching change as Rich Dorman grabs the ball from Hutchinson, and Oregon State will go to the bullpen. We'll see our 4th arm out of the pen for the Bees.
And again, upon review, that play overturned, called it out. Back into the play, the collision between Bizzana and Helfrich, and a new Beaver pitcher coming into the game. 4-4 in the bottom of the 8th, and the go-ahead run at second for Arkansas. The Oregon State Beavers, it is Bridger Holmes. Right-hander, 6'4", 218 pounds, about to make his second appearance with Oregon State. First-year transfer to the program from Feather River Junior College.
You know, Bridger Holmes is really the larger version of A.J. Hutchison, who we just saw leave the game. Sinker that sits low 90s. Has a sweeping breaking ball and a slider. Just a bigger, faster version of Hutchison.
You saw his numbers, made an appearance against Cal State Bakersfield this past weekend. 3 innings in that game, no runs given up, struck out a pair. And picked up the win at a 15-2 win for Oregon State. Swing and a miss for Jason Jones, who drove in a run his last time up in the 6th inning. Go ahead run at second is Holloway. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Command for Holmes has been a challenge in the past, but so far spotless on the year. No free passes in 3 innings of work.
Primarily a starter in junior college for 2 seasons. 25 starts in his 29 appearances. Big strikeout numbers, 162 over 129 plus innings. And he's ahead, a ball and 2 strikes against Jason Jones. Razorbacks playing for the lead. On the ground to the second baseman, gobbled up by Bazana. And 2 outs, but it will move Holloway over to third. And so the go-ahead run for Arkansas stands 90 feet away.
A nice pickup by Bazana. Clean pay on the 4-3 put out. Jones, second out of the inning.
Here's Peyton Holt. A tough night at the plate, has hit into 2 double plays. But has also been hit by a pitch and has scored. Goes around. Good slider there from Holmes, and so 1-1.
If you're Arkansas hitters, you have to hope that Holmes makes a mistake up in the zone where his pitches tend to flatten out.
With that slider, a lot of break to it. Holt just able to check his swing. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Holmes is effective down in the zone and awfully tough to hit. He's working those kneecaps.
Three straight breaking balls here from Holmes. It's 2-1. Although a tough night at the plate for Holt, some big plays defensively for the Razorbacks. In the air, center field, McDowell on the run, and that is off the wall. Arkansas on top. Holt on his way to third. 2 out. RBI triple gives the Razorbacks a 5-4 lead.
Well, if you're Bridger Holmes, you just can't make a mistake with the fastball up out over the plate. That's exactly what he did. Peyton Holt gets his pitch, puts a tremendous swing on it. Ball hits off the wall deep in center field, 407 feet away from home plate. That triple gives the Hogs the lead yet again.
These fans very much re-engaged.
Big-time players, big situations. Peyton Holt comes up in a big way.
Ball hangs in the air for a while, and it's out of play for Casper. So Arkansas gives up a 4-run lead. But here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs, Peyton Holt comes through. Go-ahead triple to drive in Holloway. 5-4 Razorbacks on top. Looking for a little bit more insurance. Jared Sprague lot batting here with 2 outs. And he hit him. Talked about some of the command issues earlier, Pat. Now Holmes, that slider, a lot of bite to it. He went to the fastball to give it the triple to Holt. The breaking ball there. A big miss as he hits break lot. Now there's runners in the corners.
Yeah, Peyton Holt had broken from third base, was about third way down the line when Holmes was making that delivery. If that was a slight distraction for Bridger Holmes.
And that might be it for Holmes. This is a massive out coming up for Oregon State because on deck is Kendall Diggs. Ty Wilms-Meyer due to bat now.
Rich Dorman making quite a few treks out to the mound, but it's either to settle Bridger Holmes down or make a change. Looks like it's just conversation happening at the moment. I think they stick with Holmes here.
And look at the bullpen. Nobody getting loose.
Well, that would be the best indication that Bridger Holmes is staying in. It is his game at the moment.
Saw our plate umpire Chris Koski break it up. Thought that maybe Rich Dorman was trying to buy some time for a reliever, but you saw the pin. Nobody warming up. And this is up to Holmes to keep this a one-run game.
Well, no doubt a huge at bat for Wilms-Meyer and the Hawks to try to cushion this lead.
2 on, 2 out. Another big miss. That time glove side there for Holmes. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
When if Wilms-Meyer gets down 2 strikes, you wonder if Dave Van Horn tries to put runners in motion.
Instead, he's ahead 2-0.
Sprague Lott with some good speed at first. Holt with good speed at third base.
All the misses have been big here from Holmes.
Yeah, take it all the way will be Wilms-Meyer, but you certainly don't want to turn the lineup over and face the left-handed hitting Diggs. He's on deck.
3-0. That'll turn the count to 3-1. Fastball count here for Wilms-Meyer. Remember, Holt got a hold of a fastball. Hit that to deep center a couple batters ago. That one's fouled away. On that fastball count, came back with a breaking ball. It's 3-2.
Yeah, good slider there from Bridger Holmes. Now Tanner Smith, catcher, indicating to the infield, hey, go to first. Sprague Lott will be on the move on this pitch.
Struck him out. Big out there for Bridger Holmes, but the Razorbacks are on top. Peyton Holtz, a clutch 2 out RBI triple has put the Hogs on top 5-4. We go to the top of the 9th in Arlington. The Razorbacks 3 outs away from a huge early season win against the Oregon State Beavers on Flow Sports. Clutch hit from Peyton Holt has put the Razorbacks on top 5-4 going to the top of the 9th inning. A 2-out RBI triple scoring Holloway. And now Arkansas 3 outs away from a huge win over Oregon State. Trent Caraway, Macias, Tanner Smith due to bat for the Beavers here in the 9th inning. Facing Gage Wood, the 2nd inning of relief. He did give up the home run to Guerra. After that, retired his next 2 batters. And he's ahead against Caraway, 0-2.
Slider just kind of hung out in the middle of the zone there. 0-2 pitch. Not where Gage Wood was trying to throw that pitch. Saw Hudson White step off the plate. Oh, just caught too much of it.
No balls, 2 strikes. Up the middle. Coming over from short. Holloway can't quite reach it. Holt also trying to get to the ball, but instead Caraway winds up at first. And the tying window is on for Oregon State.
Yeah, great 2-strike hitting by Trent Caraway, and Gage Wood goes back to that front door slider. Caraway that time ready for it, just goes right back up the box, kind of inside out of that swing, and nice job of getting the barrel to it. Leadoff runner here in the 9th for the Beavs.
You got Macias batting now. The last time he was up, had an RBI double, so this screams bunt situation, but the fact that Macias had a really good at-bat his last time up, I don't know if you do that here.
Well,
right?
I think you like the matchup too, the lefty against the righty, so I think you swing away here.
Agreed. Shows what we know.
That's
Bunt
right.
showed by Macias,
Yeah.
strike 1.
I mean, the more conservative play is the sack bunt. You try to tie this game up and keep this inning going somehow, maybe go ahead at some point, but yeah, if you're going for the win with the way Macias swung the bat with that double last time, then we don't get paid the big dollars.
There's a bunt, and it stays fair. Here's a throw to first. In time for the out. Spraglot's throw. Maybe a little bit offline there, but McLaughlin a good play. He's played well at first base tonight. The sacrifice moves Caraway to second, and there's 1 down.
I think that play right there is indicative of Mitch Canham's confidence in his bullpen. You know, you battle the bullpens here late in this game, and if you're playing for the tie as a visiting team, it just means you're really comfortable with who you've got left in your bullpen or the guy you have on the mound.
Dave Van Horn's going to go back to the bullpen here. That's it for Gage Wood.
It's a matchup baseball now.
So the Razorbacks going to the pen. Hunter Dietz, the left-handed freshman, coming in with Arkansas on top, 5-4. And correction, not Hunter Dietz. It is Jake Faraday. Into the game now for the Razorbacks as you look at the Arkansas dugout. Got to hold on and win this game. On top by a single run, 5-4 in the 9th inning. Tying run at second base. And on the mound now is Faraday, junior, 6'3", 185 out of Georgetown, Kentucky.
Yeah, Faraday, one of those intriguing arms out of that Razorback bullpen, and he can certainly light radar gun up. He's been up to 99 on the gun. Now, Matt Hobbs, his pitching coach, said really the feel for pitching is where he needed to improve, especially with command. And he has an improved slider. He added a cutter this past fall. Now he gets to do it with the lights on and in a big game, in a big moment.
Not a huge body of work for Faraday. In 2+ seasons, just 2 innings of work. And that 95-mile-per-hour fastball is fouled off by Tanner Smith, strike 1.
Yeah, you saw the arm side run there. Pretty good sink at the end.
Try to go up the ladder for that fastball again at 95. No balls, 2 strikes to Smith, who's already struck out twice in this game.
Yeah, a lot of late life to that fastball.
Caraway to second. 0-2.
Nice block by White. Outstanding. Got a 58-foot slider, and those were hard to read at times with a lot of that spin, and he just went out there and knocked it down, kept it straight in front. Keeps Caraway from advancing.
Faraday, the 5th pitcher Dave Van Horn has used in the game. That one bounces up the third base line, and now the tying run is at third. Caraway read that beautifully in the darts. The tying run 90 feet out from Oregon State.
You know, White not able to get that one squared up. It's with that spin, just bounces off his chest protector, and enough for Caraway to advance. But now this puts pressure on Faraday to keep that ball out of the dirt.
Now the infield comes in for Arkansas. Trying to cut off any plays to the plate. 2-2. Fills the count. Good block by White. Now it's 3-2 to Tanner Smith.
Let's go back to the fastball here. That's the question. Blew the one right by him on the second strike. Full count's a little bit different.
2 outs.
Right back to the sinking fastball. 96 on the inside corner. Sets down Tanner Smith.
And now the Beavers down to their final out. And the 9-hole hitter coming up now for Oregon State.
Pinch hitter.
It is. They're going to pull back Elijah Hainline. And pinch hitting for the Beavers, Levi Jones. Talk about a time to make your college debut. Freshman from Portland has his first at-bat in a Beaver uniform coming up here. So Coach Canham switching sides of the play, going with a left-handed hitting freshman. With that tying run at third.
Hey, why not?
Levi Jones versus Jake Faraday. Strike 1.
Well, up there hacking. You love to see that. No fear that freshman.
Beavers saw a lot of heat early in the game from Hagen Smith. Seeing it late here from Faraday. Just misses the inside corner at 95. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Definitely off the plate. Hudson White trying to buy a strike there, but no go from Chris Koski. That fastball from Faraday is just electric. A lot of life.
The Beavers down to their final strike. And I would be stunned if Faraday throws anything but the fastball here to Levi Jones.
There's no surprise here. It's just a matter of where he's going to locate it. Does he go up the ladder with it? Does he go down and away with it? Or does he come back inside?
Struck him out to end the game. And what a way to end the night for the Arkansas Razorbacks. On the back end of Hagen Smith's brilliant performance, the Razorbacks win late 5-4 over Oregon State.
Man, Brent, what a treat. What a treat, absolute treat to watch this college baseball game this early in the season. I mean, this had a regional feel to it, and these teams gave us a great game.
Again, it was a game that had everything. The two starting pitchers were dueling all the way into the 5th inning before Aiden May had to leave. Hagen Smith, though, kept going. 6 innings, striking out 17. The Razorbacks scoring the game's first 3 runs on a bases-clearing double from Ben McLaughlin. Then you had Oregon State climbing out of a 4-0 hole, a game-tying homer from Mason Guerra, but then a clutch hit in the 8th inning from Peyton Holt to give the Razorbacks a 5-4 lead, and the game ends with Jake Faraday striking out the freshman Levi Jones in his first ever college at-bat. This game had it all.
And these two teams put on a show, and just a pleasure to watch it, man. It's this is one of those games you're going to look back on, and you're going to remember a couple of things. One is Hagen Smith, just unbelievable on the mound tonight, 17 strikeouts. I've seen a lot of baseball, seen a lot of games pitched. That's one of the best I've seen pitched in a long time. And then the battle back from Oregon State. I mean, Mitch Canham's team, I mean, it's you know, so many great pieces to that team. They're going to be bouncing back here this weekend, but what a great job that team did to get back into the game, tie it late, and even had a chance to go ahead here. But great job by Faraday and the Hogs to close it out.
Now, how about the call, too, from Dave Van Horn to turn to Jake Faraday? As you were talking about, Pat, you know, Matt Hobbs had worked a lot with Faraday. You're getting ready for the season. Not a pitcher with a huge body of work comes in with the tying run on base and strikes out the final 2 batters of the game, Tanner Smith and Levi Jones. Just a gutsy performance from Faraday out of the pen.
Well, I think that's a head coach that has a feel for the game, has a feel for his player, understands what his player is capable of, and saw the improvement, obviously.
So Arkansas will win 5-4 over Oregon State. Tomorrow night, these Razorbacks will take on Oklahoma State. The day begins with Oregon State taking on Michigan. So, Pat, 2 more great games of college baseball today in Arlington.
Yeah, this is one of those weekends I've been looking forward to for a long time. Not only because you've got 2 top 10 ranked teams playing tonight, Arkansas and Oregon State, but all throughout the weekend. I mean, Oklahoma State with their storied history, Michigan with Tracy Smith rebuilding the Wolverine team and coming here to, you know, play some great competition. I mean, this is what college baseball is all about, especially early in the year, and we get a chance to witness it.
And you can expect Razorback fans to turn out again tomorrow and in the finale Sunday against Michigan as they start this weekend with a win over Oregon State. As we now go down to the field, about to be joined by tonight's player of the game, Hagen Smith. 6 innings, 17 strikeouts. And Hagen Smith joins us now here on Flow Sports. Hagen, again, 17 strikeouts. What was going on with you on the mound tonight?
I don't know. I just felt good. I mean, after my first outing, obviously it's not who I am, so I want to go out there and prove that I'm good.
Yeah, Hagen, it's great to see you play with a chip on your shoulder, but I got to go back to last fall. What were the things you worked on to increase your command, get yourself to this point tonight?
Yeah, just a lot of mechanical work, looking at film, get my lower half into my mechanics. That was the biggest thing for me, is just working on lower mechanics and just throwing strikes.
Hagen, I know you're exhausted after this performance tonight, but how excited were you for the way this game finished? The team got a go-ahead hit from Peyton Holt in the 8th, and then how about Jake Faraday out of the pen with those 2 strikeouts?
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, especially for him and for the team, it was awesome to see him go out there and compete. I mean, we all seen in the whole fall and spring scrimmages that he can do it, and it was good to see that he did it.
Hagen, your head coach talked about this team being close-knit. You guys have a lot of fun together. That had to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, that was probably the most fun we've had as a whole group team. I mean, everybody else picked each other up when they didn't do something, and even pitchers and hitters, same thing.
Well, Hagan, your previous career high for strikeouts was 9. You nearly doubled that tonight with 17. Congratulations on a phenomenal win, and best of luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
That again, Hagan Smith, our player of the game, as the Razorbacks beat the Oregon State Beavers 5-4 behind the 17 strikeouts from Hagan Smith and some clutch hitting throughout the Razorback lineup. Well, that's going to wrap up an incredible day of coverage here from Arlington. For Pat Combs, I'm Brain Freeman. Thanks for watching our continued coverage of the Kubota College Baseball Series on FloSports. Our final score tonight, Arkansas 5, Oregon State 4. 2 more games on tap for tomorrow. The Beavers taking on the Wolverines, Oregon State versus Michigan in the early game. The late game tomorrow, it is these Arkansas Razorbacks, second in the country, revisiting an old Southwest Conference rivalry as they take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The doubleheader starts at 3 o'clock Central Time here at Globe Life Field from Arlington, Texas. On behalf of our entire FloSports crew and Rev Entertainment, I'm Brain Freeman saying good night from Arlington, where the Razorbacks beat the Oregon State Beavers 5-4.